Scissor maintenance. Let's talk about scissor maintenance now. So if you have a really good tool, you really need to maintain it well. Sometimes our scissors have a tendency to get maladjusted or get off track. So you may have to do a little bit of maintenance on your own. I happen to use Hattori Hanzo scissors, and they have a recessed tension screw right there. So you use a Hattori Hanzo tension key. Most of the time you won't have to completely disassemble your scissors, but sometimes you may be slightly maladjusted, so you may have to do this. So one thing I wanted to point out is where the H is on the Hattori Hanzo scissor, just to the right of it at a 90-degree angle, there's a little nipple or like a crimp in a tension plate. You want to keep that at a 90-degree angle from that H. Because what that does is some magic stuff with little elves, and it allows your scissors to work correctly. I don't really know what it does, and I don't care. But I then use a nice chamois to clean off my blade. And then when I put everything back together, I want to make sure that there's like a little square screw that goes in on one side that has, and the one side has kind of a grooves, like a locking mechanism. And then I want to make sure that my nipple is to 90 degrees to the right of my H on my Hanzo scissor. I want to make sure that it's seated really well, so I like to use the tension key. And then I'll usually screw it in by hand a couple of times, and then tighten it with my key. And you don't want to tighten it too tight. The best tension is about there, where you have about an inch. When you drop it loosely, it's about an inch on the tang to the thumb grip. Then I'm going to oil the scissors. And you should oil the scissors every single day. One little drop beneath the screw, and then a line going up the blade. I then like to use my thumb to make sure that it goes all the way the length of the blade. Open and close it a couple of times to make sure that it's all seated really nicely, and then I'll set it overnight. There you have it. Scissor maintenance.